keep a short video so I can just post it direct on Facebook, but have the Epoch 300 amp hour model 12300A V2s, which have the Victron comms, and I finally figured out how to name the batteries in the app. So when you bring up the app, you can see battery 1, battery 2. The cables plug into the CAN port of each battery, and then they go to the Cerbo GX to the BMS-CAN right down here below on the bottom portion. Right now I actually have a splitter and both batteries plugged into that. That's just to see if that would work, and it does work. Alright, so now currently I'm charging these batteries. And this is the system. Let me get that glare out of there. This is the system. We've got 1066 watts coming in from shore power or grid, and then of course that little animation is going to the Multiplus 2 down and into the battery. Currently that battery shows that it's getting 31 amps, and now it shows 35 amps and then back to 31. That is actually the Victron showing both batteries. One battery is getting 31 amps, the other battery is getting 35 amps, and together, this is the shunt, together that equals about 65 amps. So we're getting 65 amps total out of that, and about, here's our Epoch information on the Cerbo screen there. One of the batteries is getting 31 amps, and the other battery is getting 35 amps. Why is one getting more than the other? Because this setup is just on the bench, and I have short cables run here from one battery and then very long cables, and that's not by design. I'm just using spare battery cables to test this on the bench, and it's okay for now. It's not how you'd want it. I have all my cables down there for once I install this on the boat to get the right length cables. Epoch and every other manufacturer will tell you, make sure that the battery cables are the same length. The total run of each has to be the same length. If your negative is 2 feet and this negative is 2 feet and this is 3 feet and this is 3 feet, that's okay, as long as the total run is the same to a bus bar. Always use a bus bar. These Lynx power ins are very nice, and then you have two big cables. This is the negative cable going to the shunt. All loads have to be on this side of the shunt. If you have any loads on this side of the shunt, it's going to throw off your BMS. You need a Class T fuse, some kind of shutoff. The shutoff doesn't have to be here, it could be somewhere else. And this shutoff is not sufficient. This is not, I think this is a 300 amp shutoff. I need to get a different one, probably rated for 600. I have the DC to DC charger, which is not used right now. Cerbo GX is all hooked up to the Multiplus 2 smart dongle, so you can get some stuff on Bluetooth. I would suggest anybody that gets this, go ahead and pay for the MK3 VE bus to USB, so you can plug it in to one of your ports here and then do some programming on the laptop. That allows you to get a lot more parameters in a much easier way than trying to scroll through the screen or on your phone. Each one of these does certain things differently. You can do some programming on this, you can do some programming on your phone, but you can do everything on that, and it's a lot easier to go through that. So let's just go through this. So up here you see the Epoch. This is on the Cerbo GX information. So up here you see Epoch, and its Epoch is at 66%. So that is one battery at 66. The other one's at 67, and it toggles through this, and you'll see 35 amps and then 31 amps. Again, that's how many amps is going into the battery at this particular time. And again, I already showed you why there's different amperage going in there, but the Victron system will toggle through the batteries. If I hook up two more, I suppose it'll toggle through all of them. Now the shunt, which is this one, has different information. That has the total load. Currently the shunt shows that the battery system is at 65%. This is the voltage. It's a little higher because it's a little closer to the battery, and it shows 65 amps, which is the total of these two batteries roughly. So this says 34.8 and the other one's going to be about 31, which roughly equals this. So these shunts take a little bit of programming to get right. It took me a little while to get this to basically match what information is coming out of the Epoch. So settings, go to system setup, and go to battery monitor right here, battery monitor. Right now it's on Epoch. Hit that twice. These are the things that you can use for the Victron battery monitor to control the charging. And of course, as you see, I have mine set to Epoch CAN bus. That actually provides all the feedback to the system so that it can control the charging and decide by the parameters that you set when the battery is charged, and what discharge and distance or time to discharge, all that stuff. You could set it to the smart shunt, and I may end up doing that, but right now I have it running off the CAN bus from the Epoch, so we'll leave it there. And then I also have it interfaced via NEMA 2000 right there, backbone going into this cable, which goes into the VE CAN, and you need your terminator plug under there on the other side, and you can send the NEMA 2000 to your Garmin system. I can't name them exactly how I want to. I'm still learning some of this stuff, but I have everything on this side set up as information from the shunt. Everything on this side is information from the Epoch, including the charge. This is what the charge shows from the Epoch, charge percentage anyways. This is the amperage in to one particular Epoch, and it'll toggle over to that other one here in just a second, even on the Garmin. This is the voltage currently, so they're just toggled over to the other one, then went right back to the other one. So they just kind of go back and forth, but the shunt shows the totals, and this is what the shunt says battery state of charge is. This is what the state of charge of that particular Epoch battery is, although I have two, so it kind of toggles back and forth. But they're so close, if they're exact, you're just not going to be able to see it. But that's fine. If they're the same, then they're the same, and that's fine. You just look at it for a minute. If they're the same, it's not a problem. I can't name these. I got to figure out how to name these, and in addition, I cannot get the Ethernet cable. It should be able to go into the back of the Garmin to work. If anybody knows how to do that, and I've already gone through all the settings for that, but I'm still probably missing something. So if you have any ideas how to get that to work, but again, that's not a problem of the Epoch. The Epoch has performed flawlessly. Still learning. I still haven't even read through the Epoch's manual. I think they're coming out. They should be coming out with the Epoch manual here shortly. They've been doing all the boat shows and stuff. So, and they just changed over their website, so they're a little bit behind on information. I could call them and they would tell me, but I haven't really had much of a problem figuring this stuff out. I still don't know what some of these are. I still don't know what this port is for. I'm supposing it's for some kind of exterior system, maybe balancing system or reporting system that they're going to come out with in the future. But very happy with these batteries. Very happy with the way that interfaces with the Victron. But I'll tell you what, the Victron stuff is pretty complex stuff, and you're going to have to do some reading. So, recommend these batteries. For the price, I mean, you just can't beat them. You look at any other battery that has interconnectability with Victron stuff, and they're pretty pricey. And some of the, compared to Victron stuff, these are, a third of the cost, and all of the performance, even more performance, really. The charge capacity and discharge capacity of these batteries, of these particular batteries, are insane. It's ridiculous. So anyways, I'll cut it off there. Hopefully this helps.